Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me for another Alfred Hitchcock Presents review. Today I will be talking about Season 2, Episode 4, Kill with Kindness, starring Hume Cronyn as Fitz and Carmen Mathews as Catherine. And this is kind of an interesting episode. As I was watching it, I was thinking, this is a perfectly acceptable, entertaining episode of the show with a really good performance by Hume Cronyn. And then the end came, and to say I was underwhelmed by the ending would be a nice way to put it. This is kind of one of those endings you just got to kind of go with, but ultimately it doesn't really lead anywhere, in my opinion. So this episode starts with a man named Fitz and his sister, and they're looking out the window. Fitz is looking at some birds. He's definitely interested in birds, butterflies, things like that, which is significant to the episode. The sister, Catherine, also notices that there is a homeless man outside, and she says he's perfect. We don't know for what yet. That was one thing I did like about the episode. We didn't really know the intentions of the main characters right away. So Catherine invites this homeless man over for food. His name is Georgie, and we're still not sure why. So the man comes over. Fitz and Georgie start talking about a lot of things. It turns out that Mr. Georgie has no relations, no family, anything like that. He's definitely a loner. He says nobody would even know if he was gone. At this point, Georgie does get his dinner. It's also significant that Fitz catches a butterfly and lets it out the window. He won't kill it, whereas we see later in the episode his sister feeds a butterfly to a bird, which is kind of strange. So at this point, Fitz and Catherine are still talking, and we learn that they can get some insurance money, or at least Catherine can if Fitz passes away, but that if they could find someone to act like Fitz and kill him, they could both share the insurance money together. This makes Georgie a little bit concerned, but surprisingly not concerned enough. Probably would have been a good idea to hightail it out of there right then and there, but Georgie's not overly concerned for some reason, just a little bit. So at this point, they give Georgie some new clothes to make him pose like he's Fitz. It turns out that Fitz and Catherine are planning to start this fire, where Georgie will be killed in it and they will get away. If this seems like kind of a shaky plan, it really is. It's not very well thought out, especially since Fitz keeps messing up all the details. So at this point, they drug Georgie, make him sleepy. Eventually, Fitz takes him up to his room to fall asleep. So this plan actually seems like it might be working out, except the only problem is that Catherine and Fitz start the fire, and they forget about these rings that they need to switch that have some kind of initials on them. As far as I could understand it, this wasn't explained that well, but apparently the ring would implicate them. So they go upstairs quickly to try and get the ring off Georgie's finger, but it turns out it's stuck on there. Fitz can't get it off. So instead, they have no other choice but to try and wake Georgie up, even though Fitz seems more concerned about saving part of his butterfly collection, which I thought was kind of interesting at a time like this. So anyway, ultimately, what happens is they are able to carry Georgie outside, and the bird gets out alive too, which I guess is notable. And ultimately, all three of them are outside, so the plan failed. But Fitz is considered some kind of hero in a strange way. And that's really it. That's how the episode ends. Now, I don't mind a different kind of ending, but in this case, the ending fell flat for me. It kind of makes the whole episode pointless, like nothing really happened. The three of them are kind of just back to where they started. Although I guess that our two so-called villains now don't have a house anymore. Other than that, I'm not really sure what to make of this ending. And then we get the closing from Alfred Hitchcock. So basically, Kill with Kindness is kind of an amusing episode. It's an okay way to pass about 25 minutes by, but ultimately it just doesn't lead anywhere and seems kind of pointless. But this episode was slightly entertaining and the acting is good. So I'm going to give Kill with Kindness a 2 out of 5. Ultimately, kind of a harmless episode, but certainly not an essential episode to watch. So a 2 out of 5 for Kill with Kindness, and as always, thank you very much for watching.